If you own a first-gen Nissan Xterra, you by definition have an old vehicle. And anybody that has ever owned an old vehicle knows that eventually you have to make that decision for yourself on when is enough and when is it time to move on to another vehicle. And it is with very mixed emotions that I announce that I am getting ready to prep the Nissan Xterra for sale. The logical question is going to be, what's going to happen to the channel? And the answer is, I'm still going to make videos. It will start gradually shifting to the vehicle that I replaced the Nissan Xterra with, which is a 2021 Toyota Tacoma TRD off-road. With that being said, all of my knowledge in my brain about first-gen Nissan Xterras is not going to spontaneously evaporate and disappear. So I'd encourage you to ask questions in the comments, go to my channel page and go to the About section and look at my email address. You can send me questions on your Nissan Xterra if you have ideas for videos where I can do something like this and just talk to the camera and offer advice. I'm more than happy to continue to make that type of content and answer any questions that I can. Now, the question is what prompted me to finally move on from the Nissan Xterra? So realistically, the Nissan Xterra just does not meet the needs of what I want out of a vehicle anymore. So it's not because there's some major repair that it needs that I'm just not worth fixing it anymore, but it's just that, like I said, what it is and what I want out of the vehicle has changed. I've owned this vehicle for over 10 years. And so the question is like, what have my needs changed that the Nissan Xterra is no longer able to do? And really it comes down to adulting. I've grown up, what can I say? Over 10 years ago, a lot of things in my life are different than what it is now. First of all, 10 years ago, I was fresh out of college and I didn't really have a whole lot of money. So I was buying an older used vehicle and I didn't have the means to be able to buy a nicer, more modern vehicle. 10 years of career development and working and saving money, I have options. And I don't mean that in a bragging type of way, but that's just I've grown up and I have more options and the ability to have different vehicles now. First thing that's happened to me is, well, I bought a house. Anybody that's owned their own house, especially one that needs landscaping or any type of maintenance or construction, knows that, man, a pickup truck sure is nice. Sure, you can load like 25 bags of mulch in the back of the Nissan Xterra if you fold the seats down, but you're just going to drip mulch juice in your back seats and it's not going to be very nice. So, it's not necessarily easy to strap plywood to the roof rack or 10-foot sections of drainage pipe that you might need for a backyard project. And, it's just difficult. Yeah, you can fit 2x4s through the cab crossways, but it's just not something that's really easy. It's not something that's convenient. So a pickup truck sure is attractive. In the last 10 years, I also got married. And I want to be clear, my wife is awesome. She is not making me get rid of the Nissan Xterra, but now I have other people's preferences and opinions with the vehicles that we drive. So, I would love for the Nissan Xterra to be this road tripping vehicle that we can jump in and go to the beach. And she has gone off-roading with me a few times and we've taken it to the beach a number of times, but frankly, it's just not a very comfortable vehicle at its age. It lacks the creature comforts that more modern vehicles have, and I've definitely modified it heavily towards off-road usage, which was great, when I was younger and I was mostly driving by myself. I didn't care about tire noise or engine noise or exhaust noise when I added in all these aftermarket components, but it's just not something that's comfortable to hop in and drive for a few hours. And the last thing is, well, earlier this year, my wife and I had our first child. So sure, I can put a car seat in the back of the Nissan Xterra, but you know what? I also have cargo trunks filled with tools just sitting in the back cargo space. I really need those tools. I like having those tools around, but it makes it difficult to, throw in all of the baby gear that you need to go anywhere with a child. So stroller doesn't hardly fit with the tools and equipment that I have in there. It's just not making it easy. The back seat is not comfortable for an adult to sit in the Nissan Xterra. Now, you might be wondering, why does an adult have to sit in the back? And well, basically a child is only going to entertain itself for about 3 minutes before they throw their toy or whatever on the floor, and they're just going to scream at you for the next 3 hours. So until they're a little bit more mild-mannered in the car, it's common to have a parent in the back seat with them just to keep things on the rails so I can keep driving down the highway there. So it's just not something that realistically, as much as I would love for the Nissan Xterra to be a family road tripping vehicle where we can go on an off-road adventure or go, camping in the future when the kid's old enough, the Xterra is just not going to be that way because I basically already modified it to be very heavily off-road focused. So that is why I ended up choosing to move on from the Nissan Xterra. I've been looking at Tacomas and Ford Rangers for a number of years, but prices have just shot up and prices were starting to come back down now post-COVID. So I saw an opportunity and I decided that it was time to take it. Now, like I said, this is very mixed emotions. I've loved this vehicle. I plan to list it for sale, hoping to find someone else that is in that stage of life where they can just beat it up on the trails and just have fun with it, because it's definitely ready for off-roading. It's just, lacks the creature comfort for the type of lifestyle that I am living now. So on that note, I do want to go ahead and pour out a little liquor here to commemorate the good times and the memories that I've had in this Nissan Xterra. Cheers. Smooth.